You've been working for years, grinding, sacrificing, you've given everything, your time, your energy, your soul, to this one dream. But nothing is happening. You're staring at the same walls, the same failures, the same disappointments. And worst of all, the doubt creeps in. It starts as a whisper. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I'm wasting my time. Maybe I should just quit. And before you know it, that whisper becomes a scream. Because the truth is, the closer you get to success, the more painful it becomes. Success doesn't break you in the beginning. It breaks you at the end when you've already sacrificed everything. When you've already given your blood, sweat, and tears, when you've come too far to turn back. But too tired to keep going, that's when most people quit. Not because they weren't good enough. Not because they didn't have talent. Not because they didn't have potential. But because they let the pain convince them it wasn't worth it. And you know what's tragic? They were right there, right at the finish line. Right at the edge of greatness. Right in the last 10 minutes before everything was about to change. But they didn't know it. They thought they were still miles away. They thought they were still stuck in the same place. They thought all their effort had been for nothing, so they walked away. And here's the brutal truth. Most people quit right before their breakthrough. But the ones who win, the ones who change their lives forever, they do something different. They hold on, even when it hurts. Even when it feels impossible. Even when every bone in their body is telling them to stop. They push through those final 10 minutes. And when they do, that's when everything changes. You have to understand something. Success is designed to break you before it rewards you. It's not going to come easy. It's not going to show up when you expect it. It's going to test you. It's going to make you suffer. It's going to push you to the edge and then push you even further, because that's the price. That's the price of greatness. That's the price of being legendary. That's the price of turning your dreams into reality. And most people, they're not willing to pay it. They start strong, they have motivation. They have excitement, they believe in themselves. But then reality hits, the failures pile up. The rejection becomes unbearable. The progress slows to a crawl, and the pain? The pain makes them question everything. Why is this happening to me? Why is it so hard? Why am I not getting results? But here's the truth most people never realize. This is how success works. It waits until you're at your weakest, until you're exhausted, until you're filled with doubt. And then it asks you one question. Are you still willing to fight for it? Because if you quit now, success was never going to be yours anyway. But if you hold on, if you push through, if you keep going for just 10 more minutes, that's when everything changes. Because pain is the final test, and if you can survive it, if you can refuse to quit when everything in you is screaming to stop, you pass, you win, you break through, and that's when success shows up. But only for the ones who refuse to break. This is where most people lose, not in the beginning, not in the middle, but at the very end, right when they're about to make it, right when they're inches away from everything they've ever wanted. That's when the pain is the worst. That's when the pressure is suffocating. That's when their mind starts playing tricks on them. It tells them, you've done enough, you've tried everything, you're just not meant for this. And this one moment, is where destinies are decided. Because this is the breaking point, the moment where the dreamers walk away, and the legends are born. And here's the brutal truth, it always hurts the most right before you break through. Not because the universe is against you, not because you're not good enough, but because success wants to know if you're really serious. It wants to know if you're willing to fight when everything seems lost. If you're willing to keep going when there's no proof that it's working. If you're willing to bet on yourself one last time. Because that's the secret most people don't understand. The difference between failure and success? It's just one more step, one more call, one more rep, one more sleepless night, one more push when everyone else would have given up. And the moment you refuse to quit, the moment you push past that final breaking point, Everything changes, the doors open, the opportunities come. The success that felt impossible suddenly becomes real. And you'll look back and realize you were right there the whole time. But you only made it because you didn't quit when it hurt the most. You are at war not with the world, not with your circumstances, not with your competition. You are at war with yourself because success isn't about luck. It isn't about talent. It isn't even about intelligence. It's about winning the war in your own mind. Every single day, there's a battle inside you between the part of you that wants to quit and the part of you that refuses to. And the outcome of that battle, that determines your future. Because at the end of the day, it's not the smartest who win. It's not the most talented. It's not the most gifted. It's the ones who just refuse to stop. Even when they're tired, even when they're broke, even when they have every reason in the world to give up, they don't. Because they know the moment you feel like you have nothing left, that's the moment you have to give even more. The moment where everything is telling you to quit, that's when you dig deeper. That's when you tell yourself, I didn't come this far just to come this far. I didn't sacrifice everything just to stop now. I am not leaving empty-handed, and that's where success is earned, not in the beginning when it's easy. Not when things are going well, but in the final push. When it hurts, when it's brutal, when it feels like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. That's when you have to go all in, because on the other side of that pain, that's where your new life begins. You've been beaten down, you've been tested. You've been pushed to your limits, and now you're standing at the edge. Right here, right now. This is it. This is the moment that separates the ones who almost made it from the ones who actually do. Because this is the part where most people break. Where the pain gets too much. Where the exhaustion takes over. Where the voices in their head tell them to stop. And for 99% of people, this is the end of the road. They walk away. They tell themselves it wasn't meant to be. They accept an average life, not because they weren't good enough, but because they quit too soon. But you are not like them because you understand something they don't. Success doesn't reward the ones who start the race. It rewards the ones who finish it, and you didn't come this far just to stop now. You didn't sacrifice sleep, time, relationships, comfort, just to quit when you're right at the doorstep. No, this is where you find another level. This is where you summon the fire inside you. This is where you decide nothing is going to break you. Not the pain, not the exhaustion, not the setbacks, not the doubt. You will rise, you will push, you will fight. Because on the other side of this moment, your future is waiting for you. Everything you ever wanted, everything you've worked for, everything that once felt impossible, it's right there. And all you have to do is hold on for just a little longer. Because this is the moment everything changes. There comes a moment, one defining moment, where you either become unstoppable or you become forgotten. And this moment, it's right now, because right now, you have two choices. You can do what most people do. You can say, I've tried my best, and walk away. You can convince yourself that you gave it everything you had. You can make peace with being average, or you can burn the boats. You can make the decision that there is no plan B, no escape route, no way out. You can decide failure is not an option. Because that's the difference between those who succeed and those who don't. The people who make it, they don't leave themselves a way to quit. They don't allow excuses. They don't allow distractions. They don't allow fear to dictate their destiny. They stand in front of their dreams and say, I will make this happen, or I will die trying, because that's the price. The universe doesn't hand out success. It doesn't reward the half-committed. It doesn't give trophies to the people who kinda want it. It gives success to the ones who have no other choice. The ones who are willing to go all in. The ones who don't just talk about it. They live it, they breathe it, they let it consume them. Because if you want to be legendary, if you want to achieve what most people will never achieve, you have to be willing to do what most people will never do. You have to reach the point of no return, and when you do, when you commit so deeply that quitting is no longer an option, that's when the world moves out of your way. That's when the doors that were once closed start to open. That's when the impossible becomes reality. That's when you stop chasing success and success starts chasing you. Because once you reach this level, once you refuse to go back, you become unstoppable. Something happens when you push beyond your limits. When you go through the fire and refuse to burn, when you take the hits and refuse to fall. When you reach the breaking point and you don't break, you become something else. Something different, something rare, you become unstoppable. Because here's the truth, most people never see what they're truly capable of because they quit before they ever find out. They stop at hard, they stop at tired, they stop at enough. But the few who go further? The few who go all the way, they realize something powerful. There is no limit. There is no final wall. There is always another level. And the ones who understand this, they are the ones who change the world. Because once you reach this level, you no longer hope for success. You no longer wish for results. You no longer wait for the right time. You take it. You wake up every day with one mission: to get stronger, to get better, to get closer. There is no hesitation. There is no doubt. There is no fear, because you have already won in your mind. And when you've won in your mind, the world has no choice but to follow. You don't need motivation. You don't need permission. You don't need someone to believe in you because you already believe in yourself. And when you reach that point, when you stop waiting, when you stop hoping, when you stop breaking under pressure, that's when the game changes forever. That's when the world takes notice. That's when the universe says, this one is different. This one is ready. This one will not be stopped. This is it, the last stretch, the final battlefield. The moment where everything is won or lost. Right here, right now, this is where the pain is at its worst. The exhaustion is overwhelming. The doubt is screaming in your ear. Your body is telling you to stop. Your mind is looking for a way out. And this is the final test. Because the universe will always ask one last question before it gives you what you want. Do you really deserve this? Have you really earned it? Are you truly ready? And most people? They answer with a whisper. They answer with hesitation, with uncertainty, with weakness, and that's why they fail. But you answer with a roar. You answer with everything inside you. Yes, I deserve this. Yes, I have earned this. Yes, I am ready, because you didn't fight this hard to stop now. You didn't suffer, sacrifice, struggle just to walk away empty-handed. No. You hold the line, you plant your feet, you look the pain in the face and say, is that all you've got? Because you are no longer the person who started this journey. You are not the same weak, uncertain, fragile version of yourself that once doubted if this was possible. You have become something different. You have become battle-tested. You have become disciplined. You have become the kind of person who cannot be broken, and because of that, you will not lose. Because there is no force stronger than the person who refuses to give up. There is no obstacle bigger than the person who refuses to quit. There is no challenge greater than the person who has already made the decision. I will win no matter what, and when you make that decision, when you commit with everything you have, the world has no choice but to move out of your way. Because there is one thing stronger than fear, than pain, than doubt, and that is an unbreakable will. And now, that's what you have. There's a moment, one single moment, where everything changes. The struggle, the pain, the setbacks, the sleepless nights. All of it disappears, and in its place, victory. Because you didn't quit when it got hard. You didn't stop when the pressure was unbearable. You didn't walk away when doubt whispered in your ear. You held the line. And because you did, because you pushed through what most people never could, you're about to experience something most people never will. That feeling, that undeniable, unstoppable, indescribable feeling of knowing you did it. You survived the storm. You conquered the demons. You proved every doubter, every hater, every critic wrong, and most importantly, you proved yourself right. This isn't luck. This isn't coincidence. This isn't some miracle. This is what happens when you refuse to quit. This is the reward for the ones who hold the line. For the ones who push when there's nothing left. For the ones who keep going when every part of them screams to stop. For the ones who don't just dream, but do. Because here's the truth, the universe does not give success to the strongest. It gives success to the most relentless, and now you are relentless. Now you stand at the top, not because you were born different. Not because you were lucky, not because you had it easy. But because when everyone else quit, you didn't, and that is what makes the difference. That is what creates legends. That is what separates the few from the many, and you are one of the few. Because when it mattered most, when you had every reason to give up, you made the decision that changed your life forever. You decided to keep going, and now you have won. You made it, you stood in the fire, and you refused to burn. You pushed through the storm, and you refused to fall. You walked through hell, and you came out unstoppable. But now, there's one final question. What comes next? Because success isn't a finish line. It's not a trophy you put on a shelf. It's not a moment that comes and goes. It's not something you win once and keep forever. Success is a responsibility because now people are watching. They've seen you climb. They've seen you endure. They've seen you win. And now they're wondering, how did you do it? What did you do differently? What made you unstoppable? How did you break through when so many others broke down? And here's the truth. Your story, your journey, is someone else's blueprint. Your pain, your struggle, your rise, it's proof to someone else that they can do it too. Because right now, someone out there is on the verge of quitting. They're right where you used to be. They're about to give up, unless they see proof that pushing through is worth it. And you are that proof. Because your success isn't just about you. It's about the people who will follow your path. It's about the people who will hear your story and choose to fight instead of surrender. It's about the lives you will change, just by proving that it's possible. That is the legacy, not just winning, but showing others how to win. Not just surviving, but showing others how to survive. Not just succeeding, but showing others how to become unstoppable. Because in the end, true greatness isn't just about what you achieve. It's about what you leave behind, and now it's time for you to leave your mark. Now it's time for you to go beyond success and build a legacy that lasts forever. You have come too far to stop now. You have fought battles that most people would have run from. You have endured storms that would have broken the weak. You have risen where others have fallen, and now you stand at the edge of something greater than success. Because this journey, this relentless pursuit, it doesn't end here. This is just the beginning, because the person you have become, the discipline you have built, the fire that now burns inside you, it's unstoppable. And the truth is, most people will never get here. Most people will stop at the first sign of pain. Most people will fold under pressure. Most people will walk away, telling themselves success wasn't meant for them. But you are not most people. You didn't just dream. You didn't just wish. You worked, you didn't just hope. You made it happen. And because of that, you now hold something priceless, freedom, because success isn't about money. It's not about status. It's not about proving people wrong. It's about waking up every day knowing you are in control. It's about walking into every challenge knowing nothing can break you. It's about living life on your terms because you earned the right to. And now, it's your duty to go even further. To keep pushing, to keep growing, to keep evolving. Because if you've made it this far, why stop now? Why settle when you could reach even greater heights? Why slow down when you're just getting started? The world belongs to those who refuse to quit. The future is built by those who don't break under pressure. Greatness is reserved for those who go beyond their limits, and you are that person. So go, keep building, keep grinding, keep leading. Because you are now part of the few, the relentless, the unstoppable. And your story isn't just success. It's a legacy. Now take everything you've learned, everything you've fought for, and make history. If this message hit you deep, if it woke something inside you, then here's what you need to do, like this video. Share it, spread the message, because someone out there needs this right now. And if you're ready to become truly unstoppable, then subscribe, because this is just the beginning. Your story isn't over. Your legacy is just getting started. Now go and make history.